be the children, as the prophets prophesied. You see, the parents of the children of Judah who refused Roman Christianity, they resisted and were willing to die for the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yah. They were willing to destroy their own lives and destroy the lives of their children to prevent them from becoming lawless. And it reads, "Many parents smothered their children in the last farewell embrace, or threw them into wells and rivers and then killed themselves. I have seen with my own eyes," writes the noble Catalino, "how a father, his head covered with pain and grief, accompanied his son to the baptismal font and called on the all-knowing as witness that day. The father and son wished to die together as confessors of the Mosaic faith. I have seen many more terrible things that were done to them." You see, the parents of these Jews were brave and valiant men. They would not make good slaves. However, if the hearts and minds of the parents of Judah could not be turned to be lawless, then the only other logical choice would be to convert the children. To accomplish this evil plan, the Roman Gentile church took all the children of Judah from the age of 25 years and younger to be raised as Roman Christian Gentiles. And it reads, "The king had the crime committed on Sunday, the first day of Passover, March 19th. Jews up to the age of 25 years were taken." You see, the Roman Gentile church separated the children from their parents, placed them in the care of Roman Gentile church members called godfathers or godparents, who taught them the doctrine of Roman Christianity and eventually taught them to be slaves. And it reads, "Those who remained after the expiration of 8 months were made slaves and sold or given to those of Portuguese nobility who cared to take their pick from them." 1493. King John went still further in his cruel dealings with the unhappy Spanish Jews. The children from 3 to 10 of age, whose parents had become slaves, he ordered to be transported by sea to the newly discovered St. Thomas or Lost Islands, there to be reared in the tenets of Christianity. Now, as these Jews were shipped to the west coast of Africa, it's important to note that these Jews retained their names. For example, the Jews in Spain and Portugal, their names were Isaac, Joseph, David, Judah, and Abraham. And when we take a look at the transatlantic slave trade database, a database which contains the names of the slaves that were actually on the ships, we find slaves with the names of David, Judah, Abraham, Isaac, and Joseph, matching the names of the Jews in Spain and Portugal. And in addition to these Jews, we also find the names of Israelites in the transatlantic slave trade database. You see, Israelites have a habit of including the Most High's name, Yah, in their name. And we can find this in the prophets like Isaiah, Obadiah, Zechariah. Each has Yah at the end of their name. And likewise, when we look at the transatlantic slave trade database, we see many slaves with the name Yah at the end of their name. And likewise, we see slaves with El on the last part of their name. Just like in the Bible where we have Joel, Daniel, Ezekiel. We also find slaves with El on the last part of their names. The children of Judah that were taken to the west coast of Africa and loaded onto the slave ships were reprogrammed by the Roman Gentile Church to accept the Roman Gentile version of Christianity, a version in which the Roman Gentiles were the leaders of the church and the children of Israel were done away with.